Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 5 of Ultimate Black Panther, written by Brian Edward Hill. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. Now this issue opens in Wakanda with T'Challa and the team surrounding a strange glowing green sphere. Because up to this point, it was like nothing they'd seen before, so it was definitely not vibranium. So with that said, Storm asked about the mysterious element, to which T'Challa explained that he and Shuri had studied it extensively, but they still didn't know what it really was. But he did have a theory though, so in order to test it out, the Black Panther went on to ask Storm to use her powers on a vibranium rod. So with that request made, Storm then stepped up and warned everyone that things might get loud, and started to channel her mutant ability into her target. So as expected, lightning started to spark around her, and she blasted the rod with a powerful surge of electricity. And immediately, the green sphere reacted, and suddenly, plants and vines began growing wildly all over the place, quickly turning the lab into a jungle. So as the plant life threatens to consume everything around it, the Black Panther quickly called for his sister to burn it all to the ground in an attempt to control the spread. So as ordered, Shuri did as she was told and incinerated the rampant growth with a burst of flames. So with the help of this experiment, T'Challa then went on to explain what he believed was happening. Because from what he could tell, this new element was dormant on its own, but when it is combined with vibranium and kinetic energy, it sped up plant biological growth like crazy. And because they had found it in an ancient temple where it was worshipped as a divine substance, they were now 100% sure that this was the power that Ra and Khonshu were after. So now it was more important than ever before to keep all of this a secret. Because the potential of this element was enormous, but so were the risks of it falling into someone else's hands. So following that, we head over to the temple of the Vodu-Khan, where T'Challa demanded answers from Matron Amala. He needed to know the truth for the sake of Wakanda. Now at first, Amala counseled him to respect the Vodu-Khan like his father did, but that is when the Black Panther responded by saying, yes, his father did, and now he is dead. So with that said, the Black Panther went on to say that he has learned to assume the Vodu-Khan knows more than they are actually letting on. And he also knows that she knows that he found something. And he also believes she knows what it does. So after that statement, Amala went on to say if he wants certainty, she could not give him that, but she could give him possibility. But see, neither was what he wanted, because he wanted the truth. So with his standpoint made clear, Amala had to give in and tell him what he asked for. She said the truth is he has the throne in an era of great change for Wakanda, Africa, and the world. So with that revelation out there, she then went on to say, long ago 2 fiery trails of fire came from the sky and landed in Africa. Now each of them came with great power and the ability to change the direction of time. Now their origins were unknown, and those who found them called them the tears of gods. One was vibranium, which Wakanda had used for generations, and the other was this new element, which spread life uncontrollably. This second element had no name in science and had been ignored until now. So following that, Amala then went on to talk about the balance in the universe, saying everything in the universe had its opposite, like light and dark, and life and death. For even vibranium was not without its opposite. For vibranium was the god of material, and this new element was its opposite, the god of flesh. It could create life at an accelerated rate, to the point where whole kingdoms could be born within moments. For this is what Ra and Khonshu wanted to use to build a new kingdom. So because of this, Wakanda would have to confront this new threat head-on. For in time, Wakanda would have his rival. So with that said, T'Challa realized how serious this was. Amala told him to prepare for a new kind of war, unlike anything they had faced before. For their enemies were coming fast, and they needed to act quickly. Now with the Black Panther fully aware of the coming issue, we then jump over to the lower kingdom with Khonshu questioning a captive man. And during their conversation, Khonshu brings up that the guy is a farmer and father. To which the former responded by hesitantly begins to recount the destruction of his village by Khonshu's men, which resulted in the death of one of his sons. To which Khonshu acknowledges the farmer's loss and said then he owes him life and a home. And he always repays his debts. So with that statement, Khonshu then went on to bring up how he was told that the farmer once saw the Black Panther and how he also has faith in him. The farmer, despite his fear, maintains his belief that the Black Panther will eventually stop Khonshu and punish him. Khonshu, unfazed, leaned in and said, he speaks of him like he is a god, but a real actually god wants something from him. With a sudden gesture, Khonshu declares that a real god will give him power. So with that said, Khonshu placed his hand on the farmer's face as we transitioned back to the lab in Wakanda. And when we get there, we see Shuri analyzing the new element. And while she was looking at the data, she found the core properties unknown. So as she stared at the mysterious green orb, she whispered, "What are you?" But just as she said that, her monitor started to malfunction as the room crackled with energy. Now this strange occurrence caught her so far off guard that she was thrown back by a powerful force. And out of a portal walked the farmer, but now he was wearing heavy armor and ready to serve his new god, Khonshu. Now in a violent confrontation, the transformed farmer attacks Shuri and throws her across the room. But despite her surprise and pain, Shuri managed to fight back because she was determined to protect herself. "Who are you?" shouted Shuri as she regained her composure. But while in his trance, the former loyal citizen only responded by saying he will serve only him, he will only serve Khonshu, and took off charging with a weapon in hand. And with great skill, Shuri avoided yet another attack and pulled out a blade of her own and went on the offense. And in a blink of an eye, she was able to land a blow on the farmer by driving her dagger through his hand. But despite her efforts, the farmer proved to be more capable than previously thought, because without missing a beat, he ignored the pain in his hand and kneed Shuri right in the stomach. So as this relentless fight reaches its climax, Shuri is then thrown against the wall, so as the pain surges through her body, she struggles to stand. The farmer somehow let out a mighty cry that once again caused the whole room to shake, so with Shuri returned to the ground, the man took hold of the new element. But unfortunately for him, an electrical current ran straight through him and brought him down. So with Storm on the scene, she refused to let up and continued to lay on the pressure. So with a final burst of energy, the farmer completely vanished out of thin air, leaving Shuri and Storm confused about the events that just took place. So on the last page, we pick back up with the farmer lying defeated on the ground, clutching the green orb. "You have served your god well," said Khonshu as he stood over the man. The farmer, now at peace, hears Khonshu's words, "Be with your son," as he takes his last breath. So with that said, this issue comes to an end with both Ra and Khonshu having everything they need to start their new kingdom. Now with that said, I got to say I'm interested in this new element and what effect it could have on Wakanda. So when it comes to this story overall, I have a little mixed feelings about it. I love the new concepts they are introducing and the conflict as a whole, but on the other hand, I believe the pacing is a little slow. But other than that, I have to say, I'm rather enjoying it and am curious about what else the writer has in store for us. So with that out there, if you want to stay in the loop about any individual storyline, then how about you hop over to the playlist section down below or in the link cards above to get all caught up on the Ultimate Universe. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.